Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Hi, I am Pat, the same one she was just talking about. So, welcome to it. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. As usual, just a ton of stuff to tell you about and to get into and to dissect. And it's all good too. Just all really good news.
Is it really?
Yeah. And if you believe that,
yeah,
we'll give it some really good real estate up in Ottawa, Canada, to sell you. Really good real estate.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting trajectory so far.
Speaking of Ottawa, there was some fun going on there this weekend, right? We'll get into that in a minute. But how about we catch up on what Joe Biden was doing over the weekend?
Oh, what's he up to?
With his new dog, Commander. So remember the one dog died, and now this is his new dog, I guess, Commander.
Yeah. Oh, still a little puppy.
Yeah.
Whoa, get back here, bro. Under control now.
Dog's pulling him around. He's not happy about it.
Uh-oh.
I'll give him a little kick.
Uh-huh.
A little nudge.
Oh, my. Did Biden fall down? It was tough to tell there.
Almost.
Yeah.
Stumbled around. He should give the dog to somebody else. He can't handle it, obviously. I don't know. I bet he's really mean to his dog.
Oh, he's mean to
when the camera's not rolling.
Every living creature, I'm convinced.
I mean, if you're going to push the dog around like that with your leg, and you know the camera's on you, what are you going to do when the camera's not on you?
Wow, yeah. Good point.
I wonder.
He's lucky that car was there.
Yeah.
What an embarrassing shot.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Jeez. And a guy supposedly loves his dogs so much. Dogs are his best friends. Come on. Somebody sent this meme over the weekend. This is so true. Taking selfies at the Capitol will get you this. Get you a little visit from the police, from the sheriff's department, bashing in your door. Spying on a U.S. president, and that'll get you this. It'll sweeping that under the rug there, and we won't talk about that. That is
the truth.
Absolutely the truth. I mean,
we are not a nation of law.
No,
anymore.
Not currently. That's for sure. So in the U.S., we have our January 6th government response, while in Canada, Ottawa's police, mounted on horseback, diverted into the crowd. Check this out. As they just run over the crowd with the horses.
What is this lady doing? Trampling horses. Trampling. Stop it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, they're gone. They just trampled this lady. They just trampled that lady.
Yeah, two people trampled by the horses.
Trampled that lady.
Including an elderly lady. Just another day in Ottawa.
Here's the lady that was trampled.
This is bizarre.
Now
there got fully trampled with a horse.
There were reports early on that she had died, but those proved inaccurate, thankfully.
Yeah, good.
There she is recovering.
That's good.
In the hospital with a separated shoulder.
Jeez.
Boy.
Isn't there an above them shot?
Yeah.
Like a photo of them running over people with the horses.
Very dramatic. Look at this.
I mean, it's crazy.
You can see the lady with the little scooter is in the red laying down there. And then the horse right above her is stepping on the other individual. Now, the Ottawa police have been lying through their teeth all weekend. A bike was thrown at the police. That's bull crap. You saw in the video.
A bike was thrown at them?
It was her scooter, and it was not thrown. You saw clearly in that video that the horse just was led to run right over her. They said she was uninjured. That was a lie. Just this press conference on Saturday from the Ottawa police chief, who's the interim, by the way, because the other one quit. He resigned on Tuesday of last week. Has just, I'm telling you,
despicable.
It's getting more and more difficult.
Really bad.
To back the blue when stuff like this is constantly happening around the world.
Yeah, well, You back them when they're doing their best and they're being reasonable people. You don't back them when they're trampling people with horses for no reason. Thankfully, it's not our police. It's Canada's. Meanwhile, leaked RCMP messages, and it's time for the protesters to hear our jackboots on the ground. Nice. So the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, currently in Ottawa to assist the crackdown on peaceful protesters, allegedly brag about using brutal force.
Yeah, as a private chat that didn't stay private.
In what appears to be authentic screenshots of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police musical ride team.
Wait, that's
the name of them?
Wait, are they playing music as they're going through the streets?
The Royal Canadian Mounted Police musical ride team.
Oh my gosh.
No wonder they're pissed off and have bad attitudes. That's embarrassing.
That is a musical ride team.
They're currently in Ottawa to assist in the crackdown on peaceful protesters in the capital city. Members brag about using brutal force. Over the last 24 hours in Ottawa, police have deployed pepper spray and canisters on demonstrators, arrested dozens, and trampled 2 people with horses. In the chat, RCMP musical ride member.
I'd be angry too.
Yeah, I would too. Andrew Nixon sends a picture of a pint of beer, hoping for his chance to abuse protesters. Don't kick all of them out until next week's group gets our turn. Just, oh my gosh.
Wow. It's a sport. It's a sport for these guys.
Yeah, they like it. Member Robin Thibault remarks about accommodations police are being given in Ottawa. Nice downtown in Chateau Laurier.
So they're at a nice hotel.
Chateau Laurier. That's nice. Nixon jokes about police brutality. Time for the protesters to hear our jackboots on the ground. After being admonished for his remarks, Nixon mocks the protesters. Okay, we can give out free hugs and unicorn stickers. What a douchebag.
Boy.
Jeez. A member named Marka laughs off the prior night trampling of 2 demonstrators, one of which had a mobility scooter. Just watched the horse video. That is awesome. We should practice that maneuver.
Wow. Protect and serve, huh?
Yeah. Unbelievable. Why?
It's gross.
Why? Because they're tired of the oppression. They're tired of being told what to do in every aspect of their life. They're tired of mandating whether or not they have to get something jabbed into their body that they don't necessarily trust. They're tired of that. They don't want to do that to be able to keep their job. And for that, they deserve to be trampled? Really? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Now, get this tweet from the Canadian government last night. Canada condemns Cuba's harsh sentence. Oh, this is from a while ago.
No, this is from last week.
It's just from last week?
February 17th, whatever day that was.
You've got to be kidding me. It was from last week?
Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah. Right? This is a bizarro world, man.
I thought this was from, months ago.
No.
Oh, my God.
No, this is in the thick of Ottawa, baby.
Canada condemns Cuba's harsh sentencing following the July 2021 protests. Canada strongly advocates for freedom of expression. Do they? And the right to peaceful assembly free from intimidation. But not free from being trampled by horses.
Right.
I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Of course, we got to trample them with horses.
Yeah, don't editorialize this tweet.
We stand with the people of Cuba in their aspiration for democracy.
So they stand with Cubans.
Do you? Not Canadians. That's
a government account from Canada.
Come on. That is unreal.
Oh,
how do you send out a tweet like that? How can you be so unself-aware? Wow. That's incredible. That is incredible.
It's like, was your account hacked, Canada?
I know. It's a joke.
Yep.
People in Canada just don't want to be told how to live. It's pretty simple. But now the very essence of freedom is a bad thing. You probably know that by now. According to the Washington Post, though, where democracy dies in darkness.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, democracy dies in darkness.
Uh-huh.
The primarily white supporters of the Freedom Convoy argue that pandemic mandates infringe upon their constitutional rights to freedom. The notion of freedom was historically and remains intertwined with whiteness.
Oh, God.
As historian Tyler Stovall has argued, the belief that one's entitlement to freedom is a key component of white supremacy. Really? Huh.
The belief that one's entitlement to freedom is a key component of white supremacy?
Blacks don't believe they're entitled to freedom? I don't believe that.
Oh.
Hispanics don't believe they're entitled to freedom? If that's a key component of white supremacy, it's not that bad a thing. Seriously.
Right.
I mean, all the things that they're attributing to white supremacy, like politeness, good grammar, and freedom, I don't think white supremacy means what you think it means.
So hold on a second. So is it fair to say that the Civil War in the United States that freed the slaves, we were actually...
That was actually over white supremacy,
So
I guess.
white supremacy freed the slaves? I'm really stuck on this one.
That's really interesting. This explains why the Freedom Convoy members see themselves as entitled to freedom, no matter the public health consequences to those around them.
Oh, stop.
Okay.
Stop.
I just can't.
It's a nightmare, man.
It's amazing. You couldn't possibly see this kind of stuff coming. It's so far out there. It's Babylon Bee kind of stuff, only in reality.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, Babylon Bee could have written an article a year ago that freedom means white supremacy and made it, humorous. That's an actual stand from the Washington Post.
Or the Babylon Bee could have made a story about how Canada's government stands with the people of Cuba in their fight for freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, how is the Babylon Bee not out of business at this point? Because reality has overtaken them in their ability to
it really has.
Satire our world.
It honestly has. Sheesh. So the police were cracking down on the remaining protesters, and some removed their name badges because I guess they don't want everybody to see who they are.
Well, why not? It's interesting. I thought if this is for the greater good, we should know who you are.
Yeah.
Because you're doing the people's
Look
business,
at that, though.
right?
A lot of them just took them off.
I would like to point out, as we go through these videos from Canada,
we want our freedom.
They're heartbreaking.
Once we give them up, that's it. We'll never get them back.
But it's like a game.
Broken promises to get people in the continent.
And look, they're just talking to him.
Yeah.
They're not swinging at him. They're not pushing him. They're not hitting him.
No, they're just trying to stay in place.
It is they who have the clubs.
Right.
Not the protesters. The protesters completely unarmed. They're standing there in plaid jackets like true Canadians do. That's what they do. That's what they do.
That is a Canadian thing, isn't it? Plaid, yeah. Plaid jackets, yeah. This game has become a game of whack-a-mole, really, because as they continue to crack down in Ottawa and arrest people that are just peacefully protesting there, as this is going on, protests around the country are popping up all over the place.
Yeah.
So I just love this. I mean, power to the people.
They're erecting or re-erecting the wall around the White House for the State of the Union address because they're afraid the trucker thing is going to come to D.C. And so they're going to put up a wall around the White House. All right. I mean,
they've already
whatever.
put something out there about a month ago. They constructed a wall out there. It looks gross and it looks permanent. And you're saying that there's something else they're putting up too?
Mm-hmm.
I can't. That's capital city, baby.
I know. All right. Let me tell you about real estate agents I trust. If you're trying to sell your home, you need some help. You want somebody who's really expert at selling homes, somebody who knows how to do it and do it quickly so that you sell it in the shortest amount of time and get that stress off your back and for the most amount of money. You really want to get your money out of your house. I know most of the time I've bought high and sold low. And I mean, almost every single time. I think we made money on one house. Maybe our last one in Houston.
I was about to say, I got to guess.
It was our last one in Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm just not good at it. And that's why I need a realtor that I can count on. And maybe you're like that too. Somebody who's really good at what they do and somebody who knows what buyers are looking for because they're with them all the time, showing them homes. Somebody who has a really good marketing plan and a really good track record. That's the kind of person that's going to sell your home quickly and for the most amount of money. And if you're buying a home, they'll get you the most home for your money. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name really says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Pat Gray returns.
Well, that's good. What's the name of that instrument? The mouthophone?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. So you're familiar with it then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine is never in tune, however.
Really?
Yeah.
I try to keep mine tuned
That
all the
was
time because
good.
I use it a lot.
That was good stuff.
Actually. If you're a business in Ottawa suspected of helping the truckers, you know, those horrible people that are asking for freedom from government mandates.
The empire.
You know, kind of people are you that want to be free? Bunch of white supremacists. We know who you are. Police are coming for you if you're helping out the businesses or you're suspected of being a business who's helping out the protesters.
Unreal.
Like you can't even give them a cup of coffee for the love of heaven. Look at this.
Yeah, watch this. The cops are wanting in there. They've got.
They're gonna huff and puff and
business to tend to.
blow her business down. I mean, they're right in the face of the owner,
Right.
manager, whatever.
And this goes on and on. We don't have to play the whole thing, but he refuses to let them in.
Okay, share this out, you guys. Get it out everywhere. Now, get it out.
Get it out.
They're saying they're gonna break the window.
They're saying they're gonna break the window.
They already walked around
wow.
back, you guys, so
They tried to get in through the back door. I mean, again, you would think that
here's your tax service. Here's your taxes at play, everyone. Welcome to absolute tyranny.
Look, there's not counterfeiting money in there. They're not, baking drugs or running
Right.
arms. No. They
Right.
dared to serve the truckers who were nearby.
That's incredible.
I'm telling you, man.
Absolutely
Canada.
incredible.
Well,
and you remember the cops at the churches all of those times where they would go and hassle the pastors at the churches and finally arrested the guy.
Yep. But this is all about your health.
They always showed up on Sunday when he was about to do the services and demanded that he not open it to parishioners.
But remember, this is all about your health. They just can't.
Right,
they want you
right.
to be healthy and safe and
That's
stuff.
all.
That's
Sure.
all this is about.
That's all.
Anyhow.
Unbelievable. Really crazy. And this woman wanted a coffee.
What? What's it with people wanting coffee in Canada? Maybe that's the issue here.
It seems like it's a little bit chilly, so maybe they're looking for something warm to
Well,
drink.
they should know better. Now
But
watch
nope,
this.
not in Justin Trudeau's Ottawa. You can't have a cup of coffee.
I just want to get a coffee, okay?
No, it's not
Can I
okay.
get a
Camera in
coffee?
my face right now. Are
You-
you here partaking?
You walked
Right
up
now
to
you're
me.
in the red zone.
I'm scared. I want to go for a coffee down there.
Where-
Can I
where
go
where's
for
the
a coffee?
residents still being
Pardon?
arrested right
Do you
now?
live in this?
No,
You're
I
not
don't live
excluded
here,
from
but
that.
I'm.
Where do you live?
Wow, none of your
Alberta.
business.
Time for you to leave.
I can't even go down there
No.
for a coffee.
No,
Go grab your
you're
stuff
in the
and
red
leave.
zone right now. If you don't leave right now, you will be arrested. Do you understand me?
For what?
Watch this.
I
that
can't go
funny
for
to
a
you?
coffee.
Grab your stuff, because if we see you, we'll
Wow.
be patrolling all day.
Watch
we
this.
see you again, it'll be different.
He just punches their camera.
I tell you, take your camera and
Canada.
get out of here.
Jeez.
Do you understand that?
Thugs of the state.
Walk away.
Empowered by a badge and a gun.
When you're walking away. Go.
Good Lord. He's just hitting the woman, basically.
Yes,
Or are you going to get arrested?
I was
Go
walking
now.
away.
Get out of here.
How long can this last when we're seeing it now? How long will
Oh, my
Canadians put up
goodness.
with this?
Hope you can go to sleep at night.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, they're sleeping fine, it seems. They like doing this. If you're to listen to the Canadian Mounties, who are talking it up. They're enjoying abusing people.
Sure are. The musical troupe or ride or
the RCMP musical ride.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. Come on now. That's just embarrassing.
We need a new name.
Why do they call them? Maybe somebody from Canada.
Well, I looked it up and I still don't understand.
The musical ride. Why?
I've read an article during while we've been doing this, and
Really?
I'm at the Wikipedia page, and I still have no idea other than they showcase equestrian skills. Okay.
So? Why would you call it a musical ride?
You
then?
might want to work on your equestrian skills if you're running over old ladies who are standing there.
Yeah, they didn't seem to be playing music while they were running over people.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in that
Yeah, that's weird.
as well.
Where's your music? Musical ride? I wonder if people still do the "oh no" thing to them. I bet they do. Bet they do.
Wow.
From
Yeah, I've got a different view of the Mounties after this Ottawa adventure.
they don't seem like a fun group of people now. They really don't. Yeah, it's kind of changed my perception of them. Meanwhile, there's video after video of Ottawa police abusing people, beating people in the city. Here's just a small sample.
So they're dragging this guy from his truck, dragging him. Okay, now
What did he do? Do we know?
Did you see that? This guy was just waiting for him to get out in the clear so he could knee him several times, punch him.
He's punched him multiple times too.
What
keeps
is
kneeing him.
happening?
Jeez.
Rob, can you just start this over, please? And Corby, you can pull this down, the audio there. Watch this. They drag him out. Now watch the guy standing at the truck there. He's just waiting. He's just waiting. Boom!
Yeah. He couldn't wait to get his knee into his side and his fist in his face. That is just unreal. The guy wasn't resisting at all.
Yeah.
Didn't look like it. It looked like he's on slippery surface, and he couldn't walk very well, and they're dragging him, and then he's attacked.
Yeah, and I mean, and like you said, Pat, there's video after video. We could literally sit here all morning with these
here's
videos.
another one.
Oh, God.
Another guy just kneeing somebody over and over and over again. Why is that necessary?
I'm telling you, dude.
Being arrested.
Oh, we got it. Look at this. I'm just...
There it is again.
It's terrible.
Fascinating technique there to subdue somebody.
Wow. Around, watching their cohorts do that.
It's hard to believe this is going on in Canada.
Oh, by the way, Ottawa has said, if you're a trucker, if you're there and you have a pet, okay, and we arrest you, if we put you away for more than 8 days, then your animal, your dog, whoever's in your kit, becomes our property. And then effectively they have the authority to euthanize these animals after 8 days of, hey, you didn't come and claim it. Sorry, you didn't come claim your pup. Well, that's because you dragged me off to jail for longer than 8 days.
Maybe running afoul of PETA will finally get something done.
I have tried to enlist PETA on all of these fights since the masks were blowing through our Walmart parking lots. Let's go. They could stop so much of this, quite frankly.
And there are so many masks right now that are just strewn all over the ground in store locations and parking lots all over the place. At Disney, at Universal, masks on the ground everywhere. And you know how Disney is so anal about cleaning things up really quickly? Still, there were masks all over the place. I can't even imagine what the mask landfill is going to look like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, one of your audience members, some Pat had said, I can't wait till we get the footage of the... was it a tweet we had last week?
Might have been, yeah. About
instead of the great garbage patch, it's going to be the
great mask patch. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
We might actually see that one from space.
We might. And there's got to be hundreds of millions, if not billions of them now that have piled up.
Oh, yeah, I'll look that up.
And you think about that worldwide, everybody wearing masks, everybody discarding them, dropping them accidentally, falling out of their pockets, whatever. It's going to be a mess.
Wait a minute. Okay, this article is from April of 2021.
Okay, so that's like a year ago.
Right, and it just says there's a study that contends that 3.4 billion face masks or face shields are discarded every day.
Every day.
Now, I don't know that my calculator has enough room to calculate that out over 2 years.
Oh, because you'd have to multiply that by 365 and then by 2.
Okay.
That's
so
incredible.
So hold on. So wait a minute. Hold on. Is it 3400?
So if we put the 18 minute together along with the 7 minutes
Here's
together,
the help from
22
Jeffy
minutes,
that we
you
need.
sell it with 8 minutes of ads, you got 30 minutes.
So it's over 30. I think it's over 30 masks.
So that's 730 days, right? Right? We're talking 2 years, 730? So I'm going to do that. And we are up to lots of zeros. So we got the million, billion,
trillion.
About 2.5 trillion masks, if that study is accurate, have been discarded in the last 2 years.
That is inconceivable.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what
tried.
I think it means.
I tried. I'll find the tweet from March or April, whenever it was.
2.5 trillion.
I tried to warn y'all. No one cared. The end.
Think about that. 2.5 trillion masks.
I can't. I kind of posted that in tongue in cheek 2 years ago about how we're gonna hurt the environment, and people came out of the woodwork to say, "You can't be serious. You're gonna save human lives, or you're worried about the planet." I'm like,
yeah,
I'm trying.
Show me one mask.
I'm pitching
that has saved one human life. Oh, stop it with the mask thing. Unless you're wearing a gas mask, you're not saving any human lives. Asinine. Just so ridiculous. Follow the science, stupid.
Here we go. February 29th, 2020. Keith Malinak tweeted, "When the coronavirus finally runs its course, think of all the masks that will be piled up in our landfills worldwide. Are we humans that important?" See, that was my little tongue-in-cheek there.
Yes.
"Let's forego using the masks because it's time to decide. Will we selfishly choose to save ourselves or our precious planet?"
You're just playing their game.
Right.
Just playing their game. Holy cow. Plus, speaking of 2 years ago, remember this picture? Somebody posted this picture from 2020, I think over the weekend. Remember when Justin Trudeau, he was so interested and involved with the BLM movement. Oh, man, did he hate police brutality back then? Oh, my gosh. He had to take a knee and really be solemn with a whole bunch of solemn people around him.
Hero.
This is for the BLM thing. This is against police brutality. You going to do that now, Justin? No, he's the one who's ordering all this.
Right, but, I mean, who could have seen
He's
this
the one behind it.
How could you have seen this coming? Who could have predicted that Justin Trudeau would have reacted this way to any kind of threat to his ultimate authority over your body?
Someone could.
Oh, really? What's that?
Yeah. Amazingly, in 2014, the Huffington Post had an op-ed written by apparently a conservative.
Of course.
Why Canada will become a dictatorship under Trudeau.
Oh, yeah.
Keep in mind, this was during Stephen Harper, right?
Yeah, so this is the run-up to the prime minister election in Canada.
The leader of that party does what he wants when he wants, and no one dares question him. Would a prime minister, Trudeau, arbitrarily whip the vote and outlaw certain moral questions? Could Prime Minister Trudeau be trusted to make decisions for the good of the country, not just for his personal self-worth? Would Trudeau call the police to enforce his vision? Oh, I think he will. Yeah. Let's hope we never have the opportunity to ask those questions. That was written by Daniel Dicken, contributor, community activist, author, conservative for the Huffington Post. I didn't know the Huffington Post had any conservative.
Yeah, probably a guest author.
Yeah, yes.
Hold on. I love that last line there. What was it? Would Trudeau call in the police to enforce his vision? Nah. No, that would never happen.
That was pretty insightful.
Very prescient.
Jeez.
So here we are, Canada.
Here we are.
Isn't this a fun time? Western culture, Western democracies. I mean, they're falling one after another. Australia, New Zealand, Canada. Hello, USA.
Boy.
Be on alert.
Better hold firm. 888-900-3393.
What number do people call to get on the air? Do we have that number?
Why, yes, there is a phone number you can call. 888-900-3393. It's Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze.
That's interesting.
Some tweets here. Vern Lundquist tweets, after seeing Joe pull his dog around on a leash, Jill should have Joe on a leash at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Idaho Cougar fan tweets, I expect to see a news story about Biden having a leg injury from a dog bite soon. J. Corby, 2821. I just have to ask, can the police be sued in Canada? That lady should be rich for that unjust treatment.
Yeah, he hit her twice.
Yeah. Proud Mr. Graybeard, the left is silent about the actual use of horses to trample people when they were outraged at the use of horses on the border.
Yep. Good point.
So amazing. So amazing. Tobin for Pope campaign. These Ottawa videos are terrible, and the mainstream media completely ignores the fact that all of this could have been avoided if Trudeau had agreed to leave his people the hell alone and drop his ineffective COVID rules. I know.
It's that simple.
It's that simple. They're just so set on controlling people that they can't let go of it now at this point. They just can't.
You know, we often make fun of countries like Canada, Britain, Israel that have this weird election setup. When's the next prime minister election? I know it wasn't that long ago that they re-elected Trudeau. By the way, can we get Flush Turdeau to trend on Twitter? Hashtag
Flush Turdeau.
I just tweeted that out, and hopefully
I like
we
that.
get that to stick, right?
Yeah, I like that.
So anyhow, when is the next prime minister election?
I don't know.
And how do they determine that? Ugh.
I don't know.
Right,
these parliamentary systems,
Yes.
I'm telling you. Although it doesn't happen as much in Canada where something goes wrong and they say, okay, I got to step down. We'll do another vote. So I think they're a little more scheduled.
Yeah, it was September of 2021.
Oh, it was that recent?
Gosh, I didn't know it was that recent. That sucks.
But there was more craziness in Ottawa over the weekend. In Canada, they're arresting journalists who are attempting to document all of this madness.
Oh, yeah, watch this guy.
I already told you, okay? This is your last warning.
Yeah.
You're not going by here, okay?
Oh, you can't go this.
You're going to be arrested.
Okay.
This is your last warning.
Okay.
On the other side of the road, if you want to film, here's a police officer. You can't go by. Okay?
He says, this is your last warning.
You can't go that way unless you never work down that way.
And this cop just says, I'm done. You're under arrest. So they just start arresting.
Wait, I thought he had a last chance.
Yeah, apparently not. I guess
No.
it's too windy for the one cop to hear what the other cop said.
The little short Napoleon cop had to go on a power trip.
They were doing this all weekend. I mean, like I said, we could have done so many videos, right? Of them looking at credentials of press type. How do I know you didn't print this up at home? Oh gosh, it just goes on and on and on.
How do I know that you didn't buy that badge at the dollar store?
And evidence is mounting that that's probably where you got it.
Now, here's a guy who was arrested. Another one who was arrested at the protest. Check out his story.
But you were on the line?
I was on the line. The cops were pushing us. We were standing there, just holding our peaceful protest, and they ended up dragging me down. And
They handcuffed you?
They handcuffed me.
Yeah.
Stood me up. Walked me down to the line up
Yeah.
with other people getting arrested.
Did they say anything to you?
They said you're getting charged with mischief, obstruction of justice.
How much was the ticket?
Nothing.
So they charged you, and then what
wrote
happened?
down on a notepad.
And then what?
Right?
They got your
And
ID?
They took my out of my pockets, put it in a bag. I had the bag in my pocket.
Yeah.
I should get this too, bro. You want to say that
I'm
again?
posting this, yeah?
Okay.
So then they arrested you, and then what
They
happened?
arrested me. I'm still being arrested. They put me in the paddy
Still
wagon.
being arrested. Yeah.
They put me in the paddy wagon, and they drove us down the street for like 20 minutes, dropped me off at the side of the road in front of the mall, and just said, "See you guys later."
That's it?
That's it. It's all like, don't be afraid to get.
Weird.
So
Weird. Are they coming for him later, though?
That's what I'm afraid of, because he said they wrote down my name in a notepad. And then when the Ottawa police chief gave his press conference on Saturday, what he said makes me think that young man will be hearing from them later.
And here's what the police chief said.
There's some video cameras that the police are using, and some news outlets are reporting that you're gathering intelligence with those cameras. Can you elaborate, like, if the protesters at this point, retreat and go home, are they going to be getting sort of repercussions down the road? Or are you going to be sort of actively pursuing the people that you've been sort of documenting and filming who are still out there protesting? What are your plans after this, after the protest is over?
Thank you. It's a great question. And the simple answer is yes.
If you are involved in this protest, we will actively look to identify you and follow up with financial sanctions and criminal charges. Absolutely.
Oh, my gosh.
Absolutely. Here we come for your bank accounts. As somebody astutely pointed out on Twitter, a member of your audience pointed out, I remember this. We talked about this. I think it was Tennessee. Remember when they only seized your hand sanitizer? Remember those brothers who went to all of the Dollar Generals and bought
17,000 bottles of hand sanitizer.
Legally purchased.
And they just took it.
And they said, nah, it's ours.
And that was here in the U.S.
Yeah, that was like Tennessee, I believe. And look where we've escalated. 2 years later, we are now confiscating your bank accounts, freezing your credit cards, your debit cards. We will make your life a living hell.
Jeez.
Because we didn't stand up for the hand sanitizer brothers.
They came for the Canadians, and I wasn't Canadian, so I did nothing. They came for the Australians, but I'm not from Australia, so I did nothing.
And they talk too funny. So
yeah. Then it was the New Zealanders, and they got some pretty scenery, but I mean, Lord of the Rings isn't going to be filmed there again, is it?
We don't need them anymore.
And I'm not from New Zealand, so I didn't do anything. And pretty soon, they will come for us. They don't like it that they're being resisted at all. They don't like it. Just do what you're told and shut up. Just do the vaccine, do the masks, and just listen to what we tell you. Be obedient, and it'll be fine. Just remember, 2 + 2 = 5. Okay? That's all you have to do. Why won't you just say it?
Might be a time to remind people of a James Madison quote in relation to the Second Amendment. Quote, "The ultimate authority resides in the people alone. The advantage of being armed, which the Americans possess over the people of almost every other nation, forms a barrier against the enterprises of ambition."
Yeah, but the Second Amendment's about hunting.
Is it really?
Yeah. Was his next line about hunting? Or fishing?
Probably
maybe?
On page 2, and I don't have
you don't
that.
have it, shoot. How convenient.
Oh, no.
Keith.
I thought I had a good point there from a founding father who was
really
there.
Didn't. No, you didn't.
And I blew it.
All right, let me tell you about Start Mail. Free email services like Gmail and Yahoo aren't really free. You pay with your privacy. In fact, internet giants, big tech, they bank on exploiting your data by selling it to the highest bidder. Your business plan? Google has it. Your medical records? Yahoo can sell them to drug companies. And so it's not like, well, I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't care what they're doing to watch me all the time. Yeah, first of all, you don't decide whether what you're doing is wrong or not. Secondly, there's all of the other stuff that you just don't consider that they have all the access to. But Start Mail keeps my email, and it'll keep yours private, period. Every email can be encrypted, even if the recipient doesn't use encryption. When you delete an email in Start Mail, it's gone forever. So, Start Mail, backed by the most stringent privacy laws in the world. You get unlimited, anonymous aliases. This feature protects your main email address from spam and phishing attacks. Oh, it's so great. So, start securing your email privacy right now with Start Mail. Sign up today. You'll get 50% off your first year. Go to startmail.com/unleashed. That's startmail with a T, START, mail.com/unleashed for 50% off your first year. Startmail.com/unleashed.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
This tweet from over the weekend really kind of puts all of this stuff into perspective. Epstein sold and raped children and never lost his access to banks. Oh, my gosh. Oh. Know who did? Yeah, truck drivers and the MyPillow guy. That's who. Wow. Better wake up fast, folks. Yeah.
That's a good point.
That really brings it home, doesn't it? That poor woman who was arrested in the United States last week, I think it was Thursday or Friday. She was, I think, in Minnesota, and they showed up at her door, at her home, and arrested her for some January 6th thing. So this just it is happening here too. These kinds of things are happening here. But speaking of Jeffrey Epstein, did you see his associate? They called him his pimp. The guy who got him at least 1,000 women and girls, Jean-Luc Brunel, was just found dead in his prison cell from suicide.
Oh, another one of those?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's tragic.
You know, sadly, there's just no CCTV. We don't have closed circuit on that. We didn't see him do it.
But he was in a prison cell.
Yeah, but there's no CCTV.
But there are cameras that are trained on the cell.
No, not in this particular case. I think they were cleaning it. It was maintenance time. Yeah.
What are the odds?
What are the odds? What are the odds that it would happen to him and Epstein? Huh.
My goodness.
French modeling agent and Epstein associate Jean-Luc Brunel found dead in prison. He was hanging in his prison cell. Former French modeling agent on the night of Friday, February 18th to Saturday, February 19th, sometime in there, he hung himself in his prison cell. Le Parisien reported, according to our information, the septuagenarian was found dead by hanging last night in his cell in the Paris Prison of Health. Oh, what a great name for it.
Prison of Health?
Paris Prison of Health.
Okay.
All right. He was found around 1 a.m. during the night patrol. He could not be revived. He was charged, of course, to get in there. He was charged with sexual harassment and the rape of minors. Daily Beast reported Brunel's name appeared more than 15 times on flight logs for Epstein's private jet, and photos used as evidence in the case against Epstein confidant Ghislaine Maxwell showed him palling around with her and with Epstein.
Are there cameras trained on her cell?
Well, her family's pretty concerned about that.
I bet.
Her family is scared out of their minds now because
I bet.
lightning has struck twice, once again. In a 2015 statement, Brunel declared he was innocent. But he hung himself in his cell anyway over the weekend.
Yeah, that's weird. Like,
Yeah, it is weird.
like if you didn't do anything,
Yeah.
you'd want to fight for your name, right?
Well, for a little while, and then you just hang yourself.
Then you hang yourself.
Mhm.
That's how, okay.
Epstein killed himself in 2019. It's already been
Did he?
almost 3 years. Did he? Yeah,
Did
that's a
he?
good question. Did he? It hadn't happened in 43 years at that Manhattan prison.
Yeah, but that wasn't a prison of health.
No, it was. That's true. It wasn't. It was not. So I'm
yeah.
sure that, no one had anything to do with his death other than himself,
Mhm.
And the Clintons.
What's that now?
What?
Do you have a...
I
heard something under your breath, I think.
Really?
I may be
don't-
mistaken.
I was just clearing my throat. The Clintons. Sort of like Clintons.
Hang on. I got you.
And their death list.
I got some...
Oh, yeah.
Need these?
Yeah, thank you.
There you go. Some cough drops there, because
See
it
if
sounds
that
like you've
helps.
got a...
Clinton in my throat.
Right? You got-
Yeah, it does sound like that.
So did Monica. Anyway, you got a... I don't think you deserve the rim shot for that one.
A little late, too, by the way.
Yeah, so you've got
Little
the
late.
Clinton variant going on.
Yeah.
Well, that's a shame.
I think that might be
I hope the cough drops
what's going
help.
on. Meanwhile, in California, 5th grade parents at the California school discover men using non-male pronouns.
This is so weird.
We're
man.
allowed to sleep in girls' cabins on a 3-night school trip. So you don't have to have surgery or hormone therapy. That was weird.
No, that's good.
Hormone therapy. You don't have to have any of that. I guess it doesn't have to be a long-term situation. You can just change your pronouns, and then you get to sleep in the girls' cabin.
Unreal.
What could go wrong? Is that an issue to anybody?
This world sucks.
Oh, it just doesn't make any sense at all anymore. Parents of a California elementary school shocked to discover recently that their daughters had male counselors sleeping in their cabin for 3 nights at an annual science camp organized by the school. One parent of a student said she couldn't believe it when her daughter returned from the trip and said the girls' cabins were staffed with adult males who shared their sleeping area for the 3-night trip. She contacted the school and asked if the men were actually sleeping in the same room as the girls, but they couldn't confirm or deny. The camp, however, didn't hesitate to confirm. Yeah, the men employed with the camp are allowed to stay in the cabins that suit their preferred pronouns.
This is madness, man.
Not their preferred genitalia, but their preferred pronouns. So if you go from he, him to she, hers, you get to stay with the girls at an overnight outing.
And I love how this is how far we've come.
And they're proud of it.
Right. It's not only just insanity, but you call the camp because the school has a little bit of shame where like maybe it sounds like they're hiding from the press. Whereas, we'll just call it the camp, you know?
No, if they have they, them pronouns, they can sleep with the girls.
Yeah. Next question.
Yeah. All right. Wow. So, men who use they, them pronouns are allowed to choose which one they want. And apparently they chose to be with the girls. Oh, my gosh. According to KTLA, one of the parents said, I contacted the school and asked them if they were able to confirm that there was not a man actually sleeping in the same cabin as the girls. They were not able to confirm that. Per California law.
Why would we care about that? Why does it matter if a dude was in there?
Yeah, what are you, a hater?
Wow.
Per California law, we place staff in cabins they identify with.
Per California law.
Parents say they're not accusing anyone of a crime, but they're angry the school district did not let parents know about the camp policy.
Why would you? Again, why would you, right?
Yeah, it's the most natural thing in the world.
Most natural thing in the world. Grown man.
Perfectly fine.
Sleeping right next to an elementary school-aged little girl.
But he prefers to be referred to as they or them.
I wasn't judging. I was just...
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Right.
It is ma'am.
And don't forget it. Couple of tweets here. This one from Smallmouth Bass. So we're sitting here judging Canadians. It's already here, at least in the big cities. Seizing a gym owner's accounts, closing his gym, dragging people off public transportation for being unmasked, and many more examples.
Good point.
The pickled squirrel, the CCTV cameras work as often as the McDonald's ice cream machines. You might want to check into that.
Right.
Yeah. And by the way, B. de Bodine sent us this. Here we see the musical troupe during their training. Okay, the Rocky Mountain...
Oh, there they are, the Royal...
The Royal Canadian... Rocky Mountain. Royal Canadian Mounted Police, right there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they look good. And that's the, of course, musical portion of the ride.
Yeah.
For some reason, they're the Royal Canadian Mounted Police musical ride.
And if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, they were dressed up in full uniform on a merry-go-round, which seems very appropriate.
Yes, it does. The Olympics are over now.
Oh, boy.
Everybody's really downtrodden, depressed. Yeah. Now what? Now what? After that great 17-day run, the terrible Olympics it was, too. Norway was the winner. Clear winner.
Okay.
16 gold, 8 silver, 13 bronze for a total of 37 medals. I think that breaks a record. Germany was second with 12. Now, they give China third because they had one more gold medal, but we had 12 more medals overall than they did.
Yeah.
So I say we're third, they're fourth. Then Sweden, Netherlands, Austria, Switzerland, the Russian Olympic Committee. That's the last time they have to endure that embarrassment. That shame. No, I'm sorry, you can't call yourselves Russia. You're going to be the Russian Olympic Committee.
No.
Yeah. Now, you can all compete, don't get me wrong, even though you cheated. Don't worry about that. You just have to call yourself something different. Nobody will know you're from Russia if you're the Russian Olympic Committee.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty harsh punishment.
They'll see ROC and they won't ask any follow-ups.
The Rock? Is that who?
Oh.
What country is The Rock? Or is it just The Rock? Dwayne Johnson. Is that who it is?
Yeah, there you go.
He won that many medals? Of course, that doesn't surprise me. You know he eats 10 pounds of fish every day?
Is that right, really?
Yeah,
10 pounds of fish?
10 pounds of fish a day. Yeah.
That's
nasty for my money. That no, thank you. No, thank you.
I mean,
but that's how he looks like he does.
Right. I mean, but we're able to accomplish that without eating 10 pounds of fish.
Right? Without all that.
See?
So pretty impressive, I know.
Right.
Finnish skier Remi Lindholm endured a shocking injury during the brutal men's 50-kilometer cross-country skiing event at the Beijing Games. Finally, it got cold and started to snow right at the end.
Got stupid cold.
Really cold. I think it was below zero, wasn't it?
Oh, and it was so windy and gross, and they had to shorten events and stuff. Ugh.
The race was shortened due to strong winds, but that didn't prevent the elements from getting the better of Lindholm, who fell way short of a medal, which may have offset the unbearable aftermath of his frozen penis.
What's that now?
Yeah, you had a frozen penis.
Okay, well.
Yeah, that can't be good.
That I don't think.
How do you thaw that thing?
I don't know, but I'm going to cross my legs now. Just in empathy for this guy.
Cross-country skiing is well known as one of the most brutal sports in the Winter Olympics. Research shows that top athletes burn in excess of 1,000 calories an hour, and collapsing at the finish line is just another day at the office. So they don't say... You see, shockingly, it's the second time that the 24-year-old has suffered a frozen wiener in the last 4 months. Wow. After enduring something similar in November's Ruka World Cup.
Okay, hold on.
That might be time to give up the sport, my friend.
I've got a thought.
You freeze it once, shame on you. You freeze it a second time, and shame on me. You're once, twice, 3 times a lady. Well, you're about to be if you keep doing this to your
Okay, but let's say this happens 4 months ago, right? Now, you think that this isn't going to happen again. You're going to take one of those little, there's like a hand warmer. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, and put it on there?
I have those in here somewhere.
Yeah,
and
some kind of precaution.
Put it down there and then go to town.
Some kind of precaution would be appropriate, I would think. After the first time,
right? Not gonna get my wiener again.
Then it happens a second time. No, thank you. I'm not involved in this sport anymore.
Change to a summer Olympic sport. Right?
I don't think I've ever heard of that happening before.
No,
a frozen wiener. What?
You know what causes that? Probably is blood flow.
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You might need
I don't know either.
Get some circulation.
Maybe
going.
he should talk to a doctor about that.
Okay.
By the way, the libs of TikTok, TikTok account,
great account
on Twitter, posted this.
Okay.
This wonderful thing. I have obtained an email from the assistant principal where she advises teachers to change a 7th grade's pronouns.
Yes, there's some school district there.
So she's advising to change the 7th graders' pronouns.
Okay.
She warns them that the students' parents do not know, all in caps.
Uh-oh.
They're actively going behind the parents' backs and hiding this information. Is that a problem?
Seems healthy.
No. So here's the tweet that went out, the message that went out.
So this is the email from the vice principal to the staff at this particular school.
From here on out, Rebecca shall be referred to as Evan. He, they.
Oh, gosh.
He, they. Okay. He will use the girls' bathroom facilities. All students and staff may know. There will not be an announcement in class. Evan's parents do not know. So Synergy and any information that goes home shall say Rebecca. Wow, is this treacherous?
Right, that's a good word.
And it's got to be downright illegal.
Yeah, Synergy, I believe, is like the computer program all the teachers use to enter in all of this information. So they're saying, for the official record, we're going to call her Rebecca. But when we're talking to her, we're going to call him Evan and he, they. But don't tell the parents, this is why you're getting this note. Whenever you're talking to the parents, you're calling her Rebecca.
Please make note in your sub-plans to use Evan. Knowing the attendance sheet from Synergy will say Rebecca. Thank you. Tommy Lee, M-E-D, assistant principal. Tammy Lee, not Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee.
I was like, wow, we got something else happening here at this school. Now it makes sense.
Yeah, Tammy Lee. I would not be a free person after finding out about something like that involving my child.
In other words,
I'd be in prison.
You would end up on the news.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It would be a newsworthy item after I found out as a parent.
So Jeffy and I would be in here talking about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
I'm with you 100%. That's
that
insanity.
is despicable.
I mean, the kids have no chance. I mean, whether it's
man.
leadership like this in a school, going behind parents' backs, whether it's CRT or environmental radicalism being shoved down their throats, or the masks or the vaccine mandates, or I mean, how
so much
in the world does a kid survive this insane world?
Bring them home.
Yep.
And homeschool them.
That's how you survive.
Speaking of all this, do you know there are more U.S. adults identifying as LGBTQIA2+ now than at any time in the past decade, or I would think any time in history?
Right.
It does seem like it's kind of prevalent now. So this is according to a new Gallup poll, and it's a trend largely propelled by Gen Z adults. The percentage of adults who told Gallup they identify as LGBTQIA2+ has doubled since 2012, per the polling firm, from 3.5% to 98.6% of all Americans. That seems like more than double. Okay, it wasn't 98.6. It went from 3.5% to 7.1% of Americans in 2021. The rise could be attributed to Gen Z. According to Gallup, about 21% of adults from born between 1997 and 2003 identify in that group.
Say that sentence again, please.
About 21% of adults born between 1997 and 2003 identify as LGBTQ.
Over 1 in 5.
Uh-huh. Meanwhile, 10.5% of millennials, the generation that includes adults born between 81 and 96, identify as LGBTQIA2+. Per the poll. And the percentages dwindle among the preceding generations. Is it because people are being, like in this school story that we just talked about, is it because people are encouraging it? Is it because it's been made, fashionable?
Exactly. It's in fashion.
I don't know.
And that's not to say that everybody that has that affinity is doing it because it's the fun, hip thing to do.
Right.
But my gosh.
But to be this prevalent in this short amount of time, come on. Something has to be going on.
In other words, that stat, 21%, is the payoff. It's kind of like you sow your seeds, and then here we are.
Mm-hmm.
This is
This
is what you get. And how? Okay, I want to follow up with those kids, these young adults that are, I guess, quick Keith math, between 20 and 25 roughly in age. I want to ask them in 10 years, do a poll of that same generation, and let's see
if it's still
21% are still considering themselves that.
By then, it might well be 98.6%.
No, I was thinking it was going
to go the other
down.
way.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just a hunch.
Hopefully we'll get a grip on this, and you'll just, I don't know, because it does seem to be promoted, doesn't it? It's not a case of tolerance anymore, and that used to be the key word. Oh, you need to be more tolerant. Well, I think everybody's tolerant, but that wasn't the goal. The goal was to not just tolerate, but accept, embrace, and then promote, and that's for sure what's going on right now. It's absolutely happening. Meanwhile, speaking of the LGBTQIA2+ community, the trans swimmer that we've been talking about for a while in the Ivy League, doing pretty well.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're doing quite well. Following a decisive victory during 500 freestyle Thursday at the Ivy League's Women's Swimming and Diving Championships, transgender University of Pennsylvania swimmer Leah Thomas, a biological male, wiped out the competition again on Friday by finishing the 200 freestyle more than 2 seconds ahead of the second place finisher. That is an eternity in a 200-meter race. 2 seconds. Now, this is after she won, let's see, what? Oh, okay, she won the 1,650 free by 38 seconds.
And this is the dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She. So.
So this is the same guy who was 462nd best swimmer when
as a man.
Dude. Yeah, I saw this stat. So
462nd he was
ranked number 462 among the men. Switches teams, so to speak.
Yeah.
And is now number 1.
Just incredible. And their teammates don't appreciate it. The competition in the other schools, they don't appreciate it. It's just, are men going to take over women's sports now? It seems to be happening quite a bit. Somebody's going to have to revisit this before it does. And why is it okay to just ignore how the women feel? Wasn't it women and their feelings and how they wanted equality? Isn't that what drove the Title IX situation where they had to have exactly the same number of athletic competitions in college, the exact same number as the men? So men had to dump a whole bunch of sports and accommodate women's sports that they didn't have before. So now we're ignoring Title IX and not even considering women and their rights and their needs and the way they feel. No, if the trans swimmer wants to swim against women, then they're going to swim against women. Pretty amazing turnaround. All right. If you like to snack during the course of the day, but you don't want to just, eat really bad things for you, there's great news in these Built bars that everybody in this building absolutely loves. I took them home to my family, which was a mistake, and they were gone in about 15 minutes. Whole box, just eaten. But they're a great way to curb your appetite during the course of the day without screwing up your entire efforts to be healthy. Because these are healthy. 18 grams of protein, only 4 to 5 grams of sugar and carbs, and they taste fantastic because that's really the key. They taste like chalk. You're not going to eat them. And right now, get your Built bars even faster because you don't have to type in the bars anymore. Just Built. Okay? Go to Built.com, use the promo code PAT15, and save 15% off your first order. Promo code PAT15 for 15% off at Built.com.
Now back to Pat Gray on the Blaze Radio Network.
Some tweets here. Soldier of Texas. Can we go back to the days when the worst thing you got at summer camp was poison ivy? Thanks. Mm-hmm. Carl Smith tweets, here's how you stop the men who changed their pronouns so they could sleep in the girls' cabin. The actual girls should change their pronouns and order those girls out of their cabin.
I like it.
Yeah. Jimmy Dimples tweets, Frozen Wieners. I thought those were the Canadian cops that wouldn't stand against all that injustice in Ottawa.
It cannot be said enough. The elements that these Canadian protesters are dealing with up there
really
in the
cold.
brutal cold,
mm-hmm.
I mean, they are so tough. God bless them. Man, they could easily... It's not 72 degrees with a light breeze out of the southwest. I mean, they are out there...
nasty cold.
Right.
And snowing. Which apparently it might snow here later in the week.
Don't be ridiculous. It's 83 degrees.
Today it's going to be 83. Yesterday it was, close to 80. Tomorrow it's going to be in the 80s. And then Wednesday, 35.
And snow and sleet and...
Amazing.
Oh.
Got this from Sully. The second time in an event, he gets frozen penis. Time to get your grandma to knit you a stocking cap for it. Yeah. It sure is.
Oh.
You imagine how embarrassing that would be, too, to have everybody on the planet know that you just froze your wiener?
Yeah, how does that even leak to the press?
I don't know. Yeah, the guy from Norway, you hear about him? He got a frozen wiener because he was doing the cross-country ski. So
how'd you find out about that?
He's showing me. Look, my wiener's frozen solid. I need to thaw it out. I don't know how you do that. I really don't. We talked about the ways the COVID culture has hurt our kids.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just check this out. The CDC just quietly lowered the standards for speech in early childhood development. Why? Because they had to, because of the masks. Now children should know 50 words at 30 months rather than 24 months.
This is tragic.
So threw them off by 6 months, apparently. Instead of highlighting the harmful effects on children and the lockdowns have had, the CDC just lowered the bar. Just don't worry about it. They don't want to make any mention of the downside of these COVID restrictions.
Yeah, even the CDC even admits that. Yeah, we've updated it. Yeah, because of what this generation is going through. It's so avoidable, so tragic.
Well, did you see also? Let me see if I can find that story. That governments are now admitting there have been deaths from. Now they obviously say it's incredibly, really, really rare that it happens, and I'm sure it is fairly rare. But there have been deaths that now the U.S. and the U.K. are admitting to from the vaccine. That's coming from the governments of the United States of America and Great Britain.
Wow.
YouTube. So just
there you go.
That's not my personal feeling.
No, you would never say such a thing.
No. In fact, I was shocked that they were. I really was.
It's like
shocked
out of the
that they
blue.
said something about it.
Whoa, what's this, governments?
What?
Huh.
I mean, really sad story, too. Vicky Spitz, partner of 2 decades, received his first COVID shot in early May. 2 weeks later, he died from a condition doctors for the 48-year-old former punk rock musician attributed to a rare vaccine side effect. Ms. Spitt now lives alone in a North England farmhouse, home to the couple's rescue pets. Finances are tight. She struggles to maintain the online art resale business her partner, who went by a single legal name, Zion, had started. She's learning to drive, a task that had always fallen to him. Sometimes putting a kettle on seems more than I can manage, she says. She's now among hundreds in the UK and elsewhere applying for government compensation for suspected injuries caused by COVID-19 vaccines. I can't believe they're actually writing about this now.
Right.
She's part of a very small, little discussed is right. Little discussed community of pandemic victims. Those who have suffered or had family or loved ones suffer from rare but serious side effects recognized by doctors, regulators, and researchers. Really? It is recognized by all those people? Huh. Because I've been told that there's absolutely no reason for concern here. There is absolutely no problem with these vaccines. Why are you such a bonehead if you won't get the jab? What are you, some sort of conspiracy theorist? Are you some sort of moon landing didn't happen nut? Is that what you are?
Wait. Moon landing didn't happen nut?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. That's a common phrase.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd use it.
Sure.
It's a little cliche, I know. Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah,
it's Monday.
I expect more colorful language from you, you know? Yeah. But no, you just went with everybody's typical thing.
Uh-huh. So, fascinating. The problems are extremely rare, said Kurt Weidling, whose wife, Nicola Weidling, 45, died in the spring in Southampton, England, from a condition doctors cited as a vaccine side effect. That doesn't make people any less dead. Good point. Faced with the gravest health crisis in memory, governments deployed the newly developed vaccines in record time. Many countries indemnified pharmaceutical companies that made the shots, obviously, with some governments promising to consider compensation for suspected COVID-19 vaccine-related injuries. So now governments in the UK and US are trying to live up to that pledge. Wow, that's news to me. They are in the very early stages of applying existing vaccine injury programs to hundreds of claims of injury alleged from COVID-19 shots. So I guess it's not perfectly safe.
Would have thought that, right?
Yeah. Strange.
Boy, first I've heard of that.
Yeah. Why didn't they? That's really weird. But of course, it's very, very rare. Almost never happens.
So rare.
So why does it happen? What is the problem? What would cause death in human beings from this vaccine? What's in it? Kind of be nice to know some of those questions. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray is here.
Yeah!
On the Blaze Radio Network.
Kick it! Welcome. It's Monday, and we are thrilled to be here. Thankful to have you with us, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I love Mondays, man. You kidding me?
It means that we got the whole week in front of us, which is awesome. Yes. Awesome. I kept waking up all night because I was so excited about being here.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it
Went
like
to bed
sleep?
very early, like 7. Woke up at 8, then again at 10.
Okay.
Then again at 12:17.
You just couldn't wait.
Then again at 12:51. Then again at 1:07. And then I finally got up at about 2:30.
So
it's a little rundown of my incredible sleep.
Was it like
last night.
one cat nap after another?
Sort of, yeah.
That's how that works?
Yeah. And then I wonder, why am I so tired all the time?
Huh.
Yeah, I wonder. Anyway, last week, Joy Behar made a pledge. She's just so nervous about the whole COVID situation. Mm-hmm. You know, she's scared. And who can blame her? Since we see the piles of dead bodies in the streets wherever we go. People just dropping dead and you think, oh, another COVID victim right there. Dang it.
It's really something.
It is. It's so bad the Queen just came down with it. Now, can you imagine the precautions they take with the Queen? But somehow her son got it, Prince Charles, and he probably passed it along to her. But how did he get it? It just goes to show you, seriously, everybody's going to get this thing.
Yeah.
You might as well just accept that fact. Everybody's going to get it.
I saw a headline over the weekend that said, the Queen has COVID, and so she's going to continue to perform her roles just in a very
her light
duties.
Schedule, light duties. Yeah.
Wait, hold on a second.
So instead of waving vigorously, she's going to wave slowly?
I see.
Uh-huh.
That explains. Okay, now I get it.
She'll come out onto the balcony and wave slowly.
wait, Mommy, why is the Queen waving slowly?
Well, she's got COVID, honey.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently she's got mild symptoms, like cold-type symptoms.
She's up there, too. 95, right?
95 years old.
So let's...
Indeed.
Let's keep an eye on her. I mean, my Nana had it. She's 96.
And she's fine, right?
She was fine, yeah.
Got through it, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It never got severe?
No.
That's great. So back to Joy Behar.
Yeah.
She is just too scared. She's going to, even after the mandates are lifted, she's going to keep wearing it. Well, here's what she said last week, just to let you know.
I listen to the little voice in my head that doesn't really follow 100% what they tell me because they keep changing it.
Yep.
Right. So, very short time ago, they were saying put the N95 masks on and now they make sure it's and now they're saying you don't have to wear them anymore.
Yeah.
So if I go on the subway, if I go in a bus, if I go into the theater, if I go into
a restaurant,
where else would I go?
A crowded spot.
A crowded place. I would wear a mask, and I might do that indefinitely.
Indefinitely. She might do it indefinitely.
Okay, but that was in the morning.
Yeah, that was how old was she in the morning compared to that night? So that night, she shows up in her mask, obviously, right? Oh, wait.
Wait, no.
What?
That's not a mask on her. I mean,
I thought that was.
I think that's actually her face.
I thought that was her Halloween mask. No,
that's
okay.
I don't know that is. I think
that's just her bare face.
Corby, do we have confirmation?
We're being told that's her bare face.
That's her face. Okay.
Okay, so no mask in the restaurant or while leaving the restaurant.
Now, but wait, Pat, in her defense, she never said in a restaurant.
She
said a subway, a theater. Where else do I go?
What other crowded place is there?
Is it crowded to you there? Look at it, it's straight on. I mean, there she is. I mean,
yeah, there she is. So,
good. Yeah. So good point, Rob. See,
hypocrisy.
I guess it's not crowded.
I'm sorry.
See,
hypocrisy.
Now, apparently, on her way out of the restaurant, the person who took these photos said that her friends that were with her put their masks on. She continued to walk, and we all know what happens in a restaurant. Where does COVID live?
It flies over your head.
See, so when you stand up, you are taking a risk, Joy.
Yeah, right.
See, look at that.
She could have gotten hit right in the face with that. Because look at where the arrow.
So I can understand when you're sitting down, Goes right over the top of you.
Yeah.
You stand up and game on.
So people are getting fed up with this, obviously. In Virginia, Governor Youngkin has said schools should end the mask mandate for kids in school.
Mm-hmm.
And many school districts just continue to have the mask mandate. So here's a woman calling out the hypocrisy of the school board members.
Mm-hmm.
Senate Bill 739, as you guys probably know, is going to be signed into law very soon. So we're taking the power out of your hands and putting it back with the parents, the way it should be.
Yes.
And it's very concerning that you guys would take the power away from the parents. And Ms. Cass, let me just point out real fast, when you were saying, introducing the public address comment, you said, this is the time we get to hear from the students, from the staff, and from the community members. You didn't mention parents, not one bit. And I think that's a big issue for Montgomery County, because you guys do not like the parents. That's how I feel, because you're taking the choice away from the parents and you're trying to take it and put it into your hands for financial reasons. I don't know. You're taking it away from us, and we have parents' law. So I just wanted to point that out.
Okay. What else you
We
got?
sat here last year and listened to you guys preach to us about Governor Northam's executive orders and how we must follow them. You guys remember that? We do. So here's the governor that comes into office, but yet you don't want to follow his orders. Why is that?
Because they disagree.
Why is it different from the last year when we were here to this year?
Right.
Two different governors, two different political parties. So we were supposed to follow it last year, but not this year.
Yeah, you got it.
That makes no sense.
Right.
And it makes all of you a bunch of hypocrites,
Yep,
except for Dana and Jamie.
Wait, what? What now?
Really?
Miss Cass, you also yelled at me the last time I was here for taking off my mask, but here's a picture of you right here on Facebook with a crowd of people.
That's it.
With no mask on. This is my
Excuse me?
time, and I don't
No.
interrupt you. Here's another picture
No.
with you with a no mask on.
I'm sorry, Ms. Vaught, you are done.
Wow.
If you are going to sit there and disparage
She's
a
standing.
member of our school board, then you can sit down. If you have something effective to say, I am not going to sit here.
Huh?
What?
This isn't about you anymore. It's about
Can we have a police officer,
Whoa.
please?
Whoa.
Really?
Yes. No, I'm not scared. I don't care.
Yeah, you
I
are.
would like you to either
You
talk
sounds like you
about
care.
something. You can talk about something that concerns
That's
our school board.
incredible.
Is
Yeah.
there something about
She's
our
talking about
students you would
something
like to
that
talk
concerns.
about?
Right.
Then talk about our students. You're taking up my time. Can you please ask Ms. Vaught to leave? Thank you.
I'm going to escort you out. Because I'm an automaton.
No.
Oh, but he just stands there. He's not escorting
If you
her
would like
out.
to finish about students, but if your idea is to stand there.
This is amazing.
She should be able to say her piece. I've had to listen to people come and criticize me.
Thank you.
Right.
People came here and criticized you last year?
Absolutely. And
Right.
I couldn't do anything about it.
Called America.
And then the cop leaves.
So people
Good.
came here
Thank
and
you.
they talked about your mask to your face. They showed pictures of your family. They showed pictures of your
Publicly available on Facebook, I will remind you.
No, it
That
doesn't.
doesn't make it right, Jamie.
You're right, but I had to.
That's my family. That is all. Then fine.
You posted it.
I am not.
Our family is being suffocated today.
I'm done.
Okay, watch this.
She's done.
She
Now watch
leaves
this.
or I leave.
She leaves or I leave.
I'm done.
Bye-bye.
It's not the truth, but that's not
Wow.
the issue.
It's not the
Watch
truth.
this. Watch this. See ya.
What a baby. You can dish it out, Puddin', but obviously you can't take it.
Make them uncomfortable
So
in their
great.
tyranny.
That's great.
That's how you do it right there. That's beautiful.
She was awesome. She kept her cool the whole time.
And she
Stood
didn't
her
have
ground.
There wasn't like a private investigator following this school board member around to
No.
get these pictures. She says, I went
Took
to
it
your
off of
Facebook
Facebook.
page, where you're showing, you posted these publicly.
Right.
That's awesome.
That is fantastic. That is really great.
And I got to
Is
say
that Loudoun County again?
I don't know which county that is, but
Wow.
But since I talked about the Ottawa police being these agents of the state and not the people, I want to say thank you to that sheriff's deputy there in Virginia. He stood down. He's like, you know what?
Yeah.
You're right.
You know what? I'm going to go back and hang out in the back again. To his credit, yeah, that was great.
That was awesome. There was no...
It's Montgomery County, by the way, so it wasn't Loudoun County.
There's no threat to that school board member. Literally, I'm standing up here with facts. I'm sorry you can't take them.
Yeah. Yeah, publicly available photos. It's not like she doxed your family. These are photos you posted. Amazing. All right, let me tell you about Preborn. Preborn is such a tremendous organization, and they have partnered with us at Blaze Media to try to save as many babies as possible this year. As we've mentioned many times, since Roe v. Wade, over 63 million babies have been aborted. That's almost 1 in 4 pregnancies. In the midst of this awful tragedy, we can do something about it. The Ministry of Preborn and the Blaze would love if you would help in this cause. $28 buys an ultrasound for a woman considering abortion. $28. They're provided to these women for free so that they can see the baby and hear the heartbeat. And 80% of the time when they do that, they choose life. So there's a really good chance that your $28 donation will save the life of a baby. Preborn partners with clinics in the highest abortion cities and regions across the country, providing life-saving ultrasounds all over. 59.9% of the nation's highest number of abortion occurs in only 9 states. Amazing. California, New York, Florida, Texas, Illinois, Georgia, Michigan, Maryland, and Virginia. Now, again, $28 sponsors 1 ultrasound to help save 1 baby's life. $140 sponsorship if you can afford it. That would give 5 babies a chance at life. Please help us. If you can, donate whatever you're able to do. Dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
What we just saw happen on that school board is exactly why they must silence everybody who doesn't agree with them, because they can't win the argument. So because she can't win the argument, she gets so frustrated that she has to leave. She can't take it. So no wonder they don't want to hear from anybody who disagrees with them. They just can't deal with it. Now, the COVID cases are dropping, but now prepare yourself for a new thing.
What now?
It's not even a new variant. It's a new disease. Bird flu. Highly contagious bird flu. There was an outbreak, apparently, in a backyard flock. So it didn't hit humans, but we're talking about birds in a Long Island home, prompting state and federal response. Oh, man.
Yeah. But
so essentially, wouldn't you have to make out with a bird in order to contract the bird flu?
But let's make sure
I think we're pretty safe.
Panic the pup. Most of us are safe.
Business.
Or if you eat the bird, would that do it? I don't know who's eating like sparrows and things, but I recommend against it.
Against what? Eating sparrows or making out with birds in general?
With birds in general.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Judgy over there.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to be a little judgmental on that. Don't make out with the birds in your backyard, okay? You could get bird flu. So,
noted.
There you go.
Write that. I don't want to forget that one. Write that down, Corbin.
Yeah. Over the weekend also, Bill Gates was discussing COVID, and it turns out he's kind of sad that natural immunity is happening.
What emotion is he expressing here?
I don't know. Let's see.
To kick off, actually, and get a bit of a scene setter from Mr. Gates, because this is, I know, a topic that you've spoken on again and again. You were ahead of the curve prior to the beginning of this pandemic. Where would you assess where we are today in beating COVID-19?
Okay, here we go. Assess.
Well, sadly, the virus itself, particularly the variant called Omicron, is a type of vaccine. That is, it creates both B-cell and T-cell immunity.
Sadly.
And it's done a better job of getting out to the world population than we have with vaccines. If you do sero surveys in African countries, you get well over 80% of people have been exposed either to the vaccine or to various variants. And so, what that does is it means the chance of severe disease, which is mainly associated with being elderly and having obesity or diabetes, those risks are now dramatically reduced because of that infection exposure.
That's a good thing, right?
You know, it's sad. We didn't do a great job
Again, it's
on
sad.
therapeutics. You know, only here 2 years in do we have a good therapeutic. Vaccines, it took us 2 years to be in oversupply. Today, there are more vaccines than there is demand for vaccines.
Because it sucks.
And, you know, that wasn't true. And next time we should try and make it, instead of 2 years, we should make it more like 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
Which certainly, you know, some of the standardized platform approaches, including mRNA, would allow us to do that.
Okay.
So, you know, it took us a lot longer this time than it should have.
Huh.
So
he's sad about natural immunity being better than the vaccine?
That's what
I'm
I
supposed to take from
gather,
this?
And I also
That's
gather
weird.
that he now, after 2 years, now he's satisfied where the vaccines are. Okay? And it's a shame it took us 2 years to be satisfied with where these vaccines are, which I don't know about you, but I'm personally not there. But next time, see, it took too long. Next time, we're going to get it out even faster.
I mean, this is the fastest rollout in the history of the world, as far as I know. They've never gotten to 80% with any other vaccine in 2 years. You know how long it took for polio? Like 40. Even after the vaccine. Well, let's see. It was considered eradicated, I think, around the 80s, 90s. I mean, it took a long time before it really kicked in like this. You don't just do this overnight. And for some reason, they expect that now. I mean, when you're at 80%, you're pretty much at a full vaccination rate. And that's what they were saying in the beginning, but they, of course, have dropped that since.
Let's see.
The only thing acceptable is to have every living human and some who are dead be vaccinated. So hopefully we'll get to that.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. 1894 is when the first polio outbreak was.
All right.
Early vaccine tests. This timeline sucks.
Yeah, we'll continue to look it up.
Yeah. It took...
long time.
It took...
Yes.
8 years, I believe, if I'm reading this timeline correctly.
To get to...
From starting the vaccine to when we started to... more than that.
Yeah, I think it was way more than that.
Yeah. So in other words, it took us 2 years
time.
for this vaccine to make Bill Gates happy, but it wasn't fast enough.
For some reason, Bill Gates is just in love with vaccines. He just loves vaccination. Remember this little discussion?
First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. But there we see an increase of about 1.3. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Okay, so we emphasize that. Okay, so if we do a really great job on vaccines, we'll lower the population by 10 to 15%. Wait.
Strange.
What?
Strange.
How do vaccines lower the population? Doesn't it keep more people alive? And now you're talking about the population being lowered.
Creepy.
Are you adding sterilization unit elements into the vaccines?
Whoa.
I don't know. That's just really weird.
But you trust the government, right?
I completely trust.
You trust the government and what they tell you, and
completely
what they say you should. Put
you know
in your
that Jim meme from The Office?
Oh, so okay. So this always makes the round, and people plug in what they want to say on it. I love it. Yeah.
Right. And now he's got a new meme.
Okay.
Still trust your health officials?
Okay. Do you?
Okay. Go to NIH.gov, type in ivermectin and cancer.
Uh-oh.
And you better be seated when you do it.
Yeah.
So we did it.
Uh-huh.
And we found some numerous articles written over the years.
So these are
about ivermectin,
written by the NIH. Okay, these aren't from
the NIH.
Yeah, these aren't conspiracy theorist websites.
Ivermectin, a potential anti-cancer drug derived from something. ...
Ellipses.
All right.
Ellipses.
We also got ivermectin has new application in inhibiting colorectal cancer.
Okay.
All right.
This sounds like a pretty good thing, this ivermectin that you're speaking of.
Then we have the multi-targeted drug ivermectin from an anti-parasitic agent to a repositioned cancer cell.
I'm really digging this ivermectin thing you're telling us about.
Yeah, it's starting to sound...
okay.
Anti-parasite drug ivermectin can suppress ovarian cancer.
Wow, what can't this miracle drug do, Pat?
Ivermectin induces apoptosis of esophageal squamous cells.
Yeah.
In other words, data suggests it can kill esophageal cancer cells.
Yeah, and see, if you look at that graphic up there, Rob, put that back up there. I particularly, I clicked on that bottom one specifically because my dad died of esophageal cancer. And boy, it sure would have been a nice thing to know that they had studies that show how good ivermectin was at combating that.
That's
but
just
whatever.
Bizarre that it does all these things. No wonder it won a Nobel Prize in 2015. Huh. That's interesting.
Just seriously. I mean, you would think, in a world that wasn't absolutely insane,
and corrupt,
that when they corrupt, that when they started saying, hey, we're seeing some success with this ivermectin. Wow, you know what? We've seen trials with cancer where that's really been effective. This might be a miracle drug after all. Just
starting to sound like it. That's incredible that it can. And again, this is not from some kook, and it's not from some fringe doctor that you heard on Joe Rogan. This is from the NIH.
When do they scrub those studies from their website?
I'm surprised they haven't already.
I'm gonna actually, just because this was a couple days ago.
Yeah, I should take a screenshot of that.
What is it? Is
amazing.
Ivermectin and cancer. Let's just see if those are. They're still there. They're still there. All these articles, if you want to check out for yourself, NIH.gov, and then in the search bar at the top, type in ivermectin and cancer.
Okay, you're going to take horse paste for cancer? Is that what you're going to do? What kind of kook told you to do that? I don't know. The National Institutes of Health said it might be promising. Call me crazy, but...
I mean, and we just showed about 5 results. I'm scrolling down here of stuff that you didn't read. Anti-tumor effects of ivermectin, blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. I'm just trying to look for different headlines. Systematic review of the antiviral effects of... it just goes
antiviral
on.
effects.
Uh-huh.
Which is why probably it helps with COVID-19.
Ivermectin preferentially targets renal cancer, and it goes on and on and on.
Until today, I'd never even heard of its helpful properties combating cancer. Nobody's ever mentioned that I've heard. So I would think that's worth looking into just a bit.
And when you have all of this data to suggest that it has done good things in the past, then when it comes down the pike that, hey, they're showing some success with ivermectin here, why wouldn't the government? Why? Ask yourself why. You know what?
They don't have the patent.
James O'Keefe just had this other undercover thing with the FDA guy who says,
we should play this tomorrow.
Yeah, they give, let's see, Big Pharma, he's talking about, this is the quote, gives the FDA more money. That's great, and increases the chances of approval of their vaccines. $1 billion a year into the FDA's budget from people we regulate.
Oh, man. All right.
There's your answer. YouTube's going to love this show.
Oh, they love it.
Love it.
Yeah, they'll probably feature
it. Are we
it.
on Rumble again yet? Oh, no. Shoot.
Not yet.
Not yet.
More Pat Gray Unleashed tomorrow.
Got to subscribe. BlazeTV.com, right?
Yep. We'll see you then. Bye.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.